The owners of a Christchurch retirement village say it's been a difficult decision to ask residents to leave because its new rest home can't accommodate them all, but they deny it's because they haven't died fast enough. Residents in Maryvale Retirement Village's rest home received a letter on the 15th of this month telling them there aren't enough beds in the new home that's being built and some will have to move out by April. The news outraged residents, with one telling Checkpoint it was bloody disgusting that he had to find another place to live after a decade at the village. Our South Island visual journalist Logan Church repeatedly tried to get comment from the village about what's going on. Finally, he's got an exclusive interview with Jenny Stokes, one of the owners of the Maryvale Retirement Village, who has worked in the industry for decades.
I really appreciate the opportunity to clarify the situation, and I'd just like to say that we're deeply concerned for the welfare of our residents, and I do apologise for the upset that's been caused by this. In terms of the process, we've been updating our residents at our regular residents meetings about progress on the building, but when it came to the final communication, I felt it was important for our family members and residents to receive the same information at the same time. We communicated with our family members first and then our residents, unless our families told us not to contact their family member. We felt we needed to be as informative as possible in the letters to clearly outline timeframes and possible options. And at the moment, as of today, there's 7 of our 85 residents still to confirm their next move. All the others are either moving into our new facility or have found new homes, often closer to their families.
Okay, can you give me a bit of background, please, on this new facility?
Well, like so many of the facilities in Canterbury, our current rest home and hospital were damaged in the Canterbury earthquakes. We were advised that repairs would take about 18 months, so that would mean more upheaval for our residents. We decided to build a new complex with good-sized rooms, ensuite facilities to all rooms rather than offering shared facilities. The new site is smaller than previously, but it will provide beautiful facilities for our residents and going into the future.
So why is this new facility smaller than the current one?
Well, we were constrained by what the site could offer. It's a slightly smaller site than what we're on for our 2 buildings, so we're providing just 1 building. And working with our architects and the council, we were only able to get the 47 care beds on that site.
Okay, so 102 rooms overall, and your new facility has how many rooms?
47.
47, so that's a drop of, it's half, isn't it?
It is.
Where does that leave all these residents, though? I mean, surely at some point someone must have thought, what are we going to do with, more than 50 residents?
Well, we have built another facility at the Village Palms, and there's, that's available for residents to go to, and some have chosen to go there. But our residents have choice, and often they will go to the area that they're familiar with, where they have owned houses themselves, or they like to go where their families are, and that's what's happened in this case. A lot of the residents have either gone north or northwest instead of going east to Shirley.
But I suppose that the frustration of a lot of these residents is that they're having to move at all. I mean, the residents that we've been speaking to were hoping to spend the rest of their lives with your village in Maryvale. That's
correct.
And your response to that?
It's upsetting and it is an upheaval for them, but, moving into the future, we feel that it was time that we had to start building a new facility for the future. These buildings have, have become past their use-by date.
Is it just a case of not as many residents have died as you expected?
Not at all.
Because that's what many of the residents believe.
We're not in the business of waiting for people to die. We're in the business of helping residents to live a fulfilled life.
Looking back, do you think you could have handled this better? I mean, you've ended up with a village full of quite disgruntled residents here.
We've been talking about this move with the residents and their families for some time. They were aware that it was going to eventuate, but it is always disappointing, and it's difficult for them when they, have to, when they get the notice that, this is the date that we're going to be moving, because any change for an older person is always difficult.
So when were residents first made aware that this could be an eventuality?
The residents have been watching the building process for a wee while now, and we've been talking to them in our meetings and keeping them updated with the progress of the building.
So they've been aware for some time that there's not enough space in the new building?
They are aware that the building was 47 beds, yes, and they've been doing the numbers.
But no one's actually told them until last Friday that there isn't going to be enough space in the new building?
We've been discussing things with family members as they've come in to ask about it. But, it's important to get the same information across to the residents and families at the same time.
But why not tell the residents that there isn't enough space earlier? That's the question.
Well, we've been having discussions with residents and families.
Since when?
Throughout the year.
We're in February.
Yeah, last year.
Last year as well. Since when in last year?
They've been watching the building go up.
But there's a difference between watching a construction project and being told by your management that you might have to move out, isn't there?
Yeah, we've been investigating what we're going to do with this two-storey building, and we have been liaising with all the experts as to how much it would cost to do renovations to it, because it's a substantial building, and we are reluctant to pull it down, but at the end of the day, that's the final decision that's been made, and it was a difficult one to make.
And that is Jenny Stokes from the Maryvale Retirement Village, and she was speaking to our South Island visual journalist Logan Church there.